Now the pandemic upending plans for a lot of people, even for events planned months ahead. Francesca Amaker joining us now with the story of a couple who is finding out that COVID-19 and contracts are not a great combination, can be really pricey here. Francesca.
Yeah, really pricey, Sheba. This is not a great combination at all. This couple just wants to change the wedding date for their venue, but the venue is not allowing them to do so without paying a very hefty fine. So here's their story. Kristen McClure and Joshua Farrell were planning to get married in September, but the coronavirus became a pandemic and is now a major problem for them. The high school sweethearts would like to move their wedding to next year in September. They were engaged in February, but they say the venue they've chosen is only offering flexibility at a huge financial cost if they move the wedding. So they will have to forfeit their deposit and have to pay an extra $6,500. Mind you, their deposit was $12,000. According to the contract, the company does not have to make any exceptions unless a shelter-in-place order is extended. And this story has many of you talking on our Facebook page. What are you saying? Riley writes, "That's horrible. I'm lucky enough that I had absolutely no issues rescheduling my date with my venue." And Robin says, "That is unfair. Nobody could predict a pandemic." Sue writes, "They should not be charged for postponing their wedding." Completely agree, Sue. And of course, one thing that you all really appreciated on that article was learning about wedding insurance. Many people don't even think to get wedding insurance, but according to Progressive, wedding insurance during this pandemic has gone up significantly. And of course, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you guys are saying. So use the hashtag Morning Rush ATL. We want to get more comments on our Morning Rush Insiders page as well, guys.